This is the greatest thing to ever happen to my business. Welcome everybody to JJ9 News, where we talk all things NFL all the time. I'm Jared Gare9, representing the 904 from the 602, and today we are talking about the crazy news that happened yesterday. Mike McCarthy officially staying on for a 5th season as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, even after the Cowboys became the first number 2 seed to ever lose to a number 7. Previously, the number 7 seed was 0-8 lifetime against the 2 seed, 1982, 2020, 2021, 2022. Packers destroyed the Cowboys, winning that one 48-32 in a game that wasn't even that close. The Packers were up by a ton before just garbage time touchdowns by the Cowboys. Even despite all that, Mike McCarthy staying on for another season. He will be back in 2024 as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones made a comment about why he's giving McCarthy. He said on the matter, "I believe this team is very close and capable of achieving our ultimate goals, and the best step forward for us will be with Mike McCarthy as our head coach. There is great benefit to continuing the team's progress under Mike's leadership as our head coach. Certainly, Mike's career has demonstrated postseason success at a high level, and we have great confidence that can continue." All right, there's a lot to break down with this. First off, demonstrated postseason success at a high level? Where? The man's won one playoff game in the last 6 years, and that was against a below 500 team. You beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady having a dead arm. You beat maybe the worst playoff team of all time. That's the one time that Mike McCarthy has won a playoff game in 6 years. I know that he won a Super Bowl in Green Bay, but that was over a decade ago. That was a while ago. That's like keeping George Seifert on as the coach of the Panthers because he had great postseason success. He won the Super Bowl a few years before. Like, it was a completely different time period. Very, very different time period. Mike McCarthy is not the postseason guru whatsoever. He has constant, dumb decisions in the playoffs and in big situations. Look at the last 3 years and how their season ended. 2021, the controversial call at the end of the game to try a QB draw to set up one long shot to the end zone instead of just trying 3 Hail Marys. You're not going to have a good odds either way, but you might as well give yourself 3 chances instead of 1. That didn't work out. Last year, against the 49ers, the poor clock management at the very end, plus the final play of the game with Zeke at center, which obviously did not work. This year, catastrophe of bad coaching, especially on the defensive side of the ball, plus the awful decision to kick an extra point down by 3 scores to make it a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game. Mike McCarthy has made so many horrible decisions. He's been on dumb decisions 10 times since he's been the coach of the Cowboys. I'll leave a link to every one of those videos in the description if you want to see just how bad Mike McCarthy is for yourself. How many games has he cost the Cowboys or almost cost them because of horrible in-game management? The Lions game this year. Remember, if they just ran the ball at the end instead of trying a deep shot, they win that game. There's no controversy at the very end with that 2-point conversion play. The Seahawks game, awful clock management there. The Jaguars game in 2022, which was pretty much deja vu to the Lions game the following year. All you had to do was run on the clock, but no, let's try a deep shot 50 yards down the field. Doesn't work out. Jaguars win the game. The Washington football team game in 2020 on Thanksgiving, there were so many dumb decisions in that one. The Eagles game in 2022 on Sunday Night Football. The no challenge on 4th and inches, even though it was very, very obvious that he got the first down. Let's not challenge that. Instead, let's go for it and call a deep shot in your own territory. It made no sense. And the Packers game last year, awful overtime management. Every decision he makes is the objectively wrong one. He is constantly getting outcoached. And with all the talent on this team, there is no excuse for that. This cycle, more than any other cycle, is the time to swing for the fences, especially since the Cowboys vacancy easily becomes the number 1 vacancy in football. You take over the Cowboys job, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. You've got a playoff spot pretty much wrapped up. You have a franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott. You have a great team with a ton of talent. You get the number 1 coaching job in America on the pro side, better than any other vacancy out there right now. And you're going to stay with Mike McCarthy just because? I know he's had regular season success. I know that. But that's not the end goal here. That's never been the end goal for the Cowboys. The end goal is playoff success. And Mike McCarthy has shown time and time again that he cannot coach in the big moment. I want to take a moment to explain the comments made by another player that played for Mike McCarthy for 1 year in 2020, Justin March. He talked about why this is the right move to stick with McCarthy, and he said this: "It would be hard for a new coach to come in, teach a brand new system on offense, defense, and special teams, and then earn the trust of the locker room, and then have all the players on the same page with the terminology and checks. It was the best decision for a good run next season. That seems to be the common theme among a lot of people that want to keep Mike McCarthy as head coach. Granted, I think most people that want to keep McCarthy as head coach are fans of other teams, but Cowboys fans that want Mike McCarthy to stay on as head coach, they are stuck in the mindset of, well, it'd be tough to get a new coach. You never know how good he's going to be. But why make changes at that point? Why change anything? Because it's going to be hard? It's going to be hard to change all the things around, all the terminology around. So why even make any changes? Look at DeMeco Ryans. Don't give me that. That's tough to change everything around. Look at Shane Steichen. The Texans were a dumpster fire last year. DeMeco Ryans comes in, turns everything around. Now they're playing the divisional round. Shot the conference championship for the first time in franchise history. Shane Steichen takes a team with the Colts that was the fourth worst team in football the year before and almost takes them to the playoffs. Don't give me that nonsense that it's hard to turn a team around. That is the worst logic in terms of it's always been the way we've done things. It's tough to make change. Why make a change? Well, you see why you have to make a change, because you're losing every big game when it matters most. You have one playoff win in 4 years, and that was against one of the worst playoff teams of all time. And you have a coach that is constantly getting out coached. It is insane that Mike McCarthy is staying on as the head coach of this team in 2024. Not that I'm complaining, because it means more dumb decisions episodes for me. But what are your thoughts? Do you think the Cowboys made the right move keeping Mike McCarthy on as the head coach for 2024? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And that's going to do it for this episode of JJ9 News. If you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to subscribe to my main channel, JaroGamer9, where we talk all things NFL history all the time. Until next time, this is JaroGamer9 signing off. And as always, go Jags.